The gun we're exhibiting here is a wheel-lock gun from the Cabinet des Armes of King Louis XIII of France. In the early 17th century, a new figure emerged among European princes recognised as connoisseurs and devoted collectors of fine arms, armour and militaria. He was Dauphin Louis, born on September the 27th, 1601, to Henry IV of France and Navarre. At the age of 10, having already been proclaimed Louis XIII of France, the king's enchantment with arms was well known, and even won him the nickname Louis l'Arquebusier. Despite his generally poor health, Louis XIII was very fond of hunting and other gentlemanly sport. One of his favourite pastimes was examining, taking apart, cleaning and reassembling firearms in the quiet of his cabinet. This gun was made for Roger de Saint-Lary de Turn, Duke de Bellegarde. His coat of arms is engraved on the buttplate, together with the coronet reflecting the Burgundian duchy, with which he was rewarded by Louis XIII in 1619. The engraved arms are framed by the collar of the Order of Saint-Michel. Of greater importance, though, is the inclusion of the badge of the Grand Equerry of France, which flanks the Duke's coat of arms on both sides, the King's sword in its scabbard together with its belt. The Duke de Bellegarde was appointed to this office by Louis XIII in 1621, remaining in post until 1639. We know, therefore, that this gun was most likely completed after 1621. The date of the presentation of the gun to the King is unknown, the low inventory number being no chronological indicator of its date of entry into the King's personal collection. The most prominent feature of this gun is undoubtedly the superb chiselling of the head of the wheel-lock dog in the form of a naturalistic horse's head. It is the quality of this feature which foremost identifies the work as that of the celebrated designer and gunmaker Jean Henequin of Metz. The inlaid iconography on the stock of the present gun, for the greater part, draws on the myths of classical Rome, as told by Ovid in his published Metamorphoses. The classical stage is shared by moralistic biblical allegories from the Book of Genesis. These are grouped opposite the lock, and are namely the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot made drunk and seduced by his daughters, and the Tower of Babel. The inlaid depiction of the burning and partially collapsed cities is possibly inspired by similar details included in an engraving of Lot and his daughters by William Isaacs van Swanenburg, after a similar composition painted by Peter Paul Rubens in 1610. Extended over the left-hand side of the butt is the god Mercury in his chariot drawn by a pair of winged stags. To the rear of the chariot stands a satyr, but above him at the rear is an illustration of the fall of Icarus, the well-known classic cautionary tale of overambition. This particular representation appears as a detail in a number of artworks of the period. On the right-hand side is a corresponding elongated pastoral landscape, through which a chariot drawn by 4 horses carries a goddess, most likely Diana. To the rear of this chariot are the standing figures of Pan and Aphrodite, with Cupid emerging over them from the heavens.